To begin today's tutorial, we're going to go to the New button, click the drop-down menu, click Browse Templates, look for the template titled AutoCAD ISO 3D, click Open. On AutoCAD ISO 3D, the default units will be millimeters. We're going to want to change the default units for this drawing to centimeters. So we're going to type in the command units, UNITS, click Enter. You're going to see a window open. That window will show millimeters. You're going to change it to centimeters. Press OK. The next step, you're going to turn on your grid snap. On Mac, it's Command B. You'll see this symbol light up. That is the symbol for grid snap, that icon down at the bottom here where my mouse is hovering over it. The hotkey for grid snap on PC is F9. And we're going to begin by typing in the command box, BOX. Click Enter. And we're going to click there. Right at the center, move our mouse slightly. And to begin our selection, we just left click once, and we can begin to move our mouse. We're going to type in one of the boxes 30 for the length, click Tab, and then we're going to type in 14 for the width. And we're going to click Enter. And for the height, we're going to type in 27. Click Enter. You can repeat that procedure to make a second box, but in this case, I'm going to copy this box, press Ctrl-C, press Ctrl-V. There's our second box. We're going to double-click our box if we were on PC. If you're using Mac like me, you'll just click it once, and you'll see the Properties window open over here. I'm then going to go and change the properties. You can also access the properties by typing in Properties, clicking Enter, and the Properties window would open. So I'm going to change the properties to 27 for length for this box, 13 for width, and 25.5 for height. I'm then going to go change the visual style from realistic. You'll see this tab right over here. We're going to go click that, and you're going to see a drop-down menu open. We're going to select the visual style of wireframe. That's going to change our visual style to wireframe. And the next thing we're going to do is type in the command line, L-I-N-E. And we're going to also turn off grid snap because it can sometimes make it difficult for us to make our selection. Just before we go do that, we're going to go over to the tool button at the bottom of our screen where my mouse is hovering over it in this very corner. You're going to see a little square and a very small, an even smaller square. And that is the icon for Object Snap. This is a very useful tool. To turn it on and turn it off, you click it. And what we're going to want to do is go to the drop-down menu for Object Snap. On Mac, you can right-click on your mouse. On PC, you can do the same, or you can click a triangle that's right next to the icon, and it will give you a drop-down menu. So I'm on Mac, I'll be right-clicking on my mouse, and I'm going to turn on midpoint. But you should also turn on center and geometric center, as they can be very useful as well. But in this case, we really just need midpoint. There is very few times that you'll ever really need to turn off object snap when you're 3D modeling. It's a very useful tool. The hotkey for object snap is F3, but you'll seldomly ever use it unless you turn it off by accident. It's one of those tools that is always on whenever you're using AutoCAD. The next thing we're going to do is type in line, click enter, just to get back to our last bit before we went off and spoke about object snap. Line is already selected. It's in our command line, you'll see over here. And just to begin that order of operations again, I'm going to click enter. I'm going to click the midpoint right over in the center of this face right here. And I'm going to bring my line right across and click at the other midpoint, then click enter to deselect. The next thing I'm going to do is click enter to reselect my last tool selection. AutoCAD is able to remember your last tool selection. And I'm going to click the midpoint there and go across to the other midpoint and click enter. We're creating these lines because we're going to use them as alignment tools. You saw that line that just created just now. You see that my screen is turning blue. That is called lasso selection. You can do that by holding down your left cursor. In this case, I want to make a box selection, so I would just click the left cursor once, and then move my mouse, allowing me to make a box selection. I'm going to then type in move, click enter, and I'm going to click the center and move it to this center right here. The very midpoint, this triangle, we're basically going to be moving it from this over here to this triangle over here. That triangle is our midpoint object snap tool working. And you can see I've put this box inside of the other, and I'll quickly switch to shaded so you can see it doesn't look like there's two boxes together. For the next step, we're going to go back to wireframe again, and we're going to type in the command subtract. S-U-B-T-R-A-C-T, subtract, click enter, click the exterior object, click enter, click the interior object, click enter. Now we're going to go to shaded so you can see that it has removed the internal section and created a cavity. Our object is starting to look more and more like a box. The next step, we're going to go back to wireframe, and we're going to change our view to right. Just before we do that though, we're going to do the command rectangle. So just wait a few minutes before you change your default view, as the next step is important that you stay within the default view for the file, which is top. So we're going to type in rectangle. We're going to click on the grid. We're going to move our cursor. We're going to type in 30. We're going to click tab. And we're going to click 2. And then we're going to click enter. By click, I mean type in 2. Click enter. And now we're going to select our rectangle. We'll right click, click move, and we're going to grab right from the midpoint of our width and bring it right to the midpoint of our width of the top of our box. Click there. That's how it should be. It should be right in the center, no overhangs, nice and flush on all sides. And the next thing we're going to do is finally change the default grid to right. So on Mac and PC, the way to change the default grid is just to go to this drop-down menu over here, click there, and change it to right. We're going to just quickly switch to 2D wireframe for this. So you'll go over here to Visual Style, switch to 2D wireframe, and we're going to type in line, L-I-N-E, click enter, and we're going to go, I'm just going to rotate slightly just to help me get a little bit of leverage on it, and I'm going to click right there where it says endpoint. I'm going to then, with my mouse, go to the midpoint of the exterior box. Then I'm going to go across to the other side, to the other midpoint, and then come up to the endpoint of our rectangle. And then I'm going to click enter. As you'll see, I want my 2 lines that are going to make the sides of my toolbox to be touching the exterior. So be sure that they're doing that. I've seen in the past, people will draw the line from here going to the interior rectangle, and then when we go to the next stage, they'll have issues with their model. So to continue, we're going to click that middle line, delete it, and we're going to type in the next command, extrude, E-X-T-R-U-D-E, click enter, and we're going to click these 2 lines, click enter, and now we're going to extrude it past the object. It's important that you extrude it past the object, as if you just extrude it to the very edge of the object, or if you don't have object snap on and it looks like you've snapped to the area edge, you might be just short and you'll have issues with slicing. So it's important that your surfaces go past the object body. The next thing we're going to do is use the command called slice, S-L-I-C-E. We're going to click enter, and you'll see in our command line, it's going to ask us to select objects to slice. We're going to select the box, then we're going to click enter, then we're going to right click on our mouse, and we're going to go to surface and click surface. If you were on PC, you can do the same thing, but you can also go to the command line and click surface, and you can also just type in surface too if you wanted to, but it's easier to just right click and it will give you the drop down menu of options that are in command line. So we're going to pick surface, we're going to click this surface, and then we're going to select the main body of the toolbox. It's important that you select the main body of the toolbox, as it's going to remove the object that you don't want. And if you click this, it will delete the toolbox. If you do make that mistake, just press Control Z, or on Mac, Command Z. The next thing we're going to do is repeat that process. We're going to click enter. We're going to refresh the last tool that we just chose, which is slice. We're going to select the object that we want to slice, which is our toolbox. Click enter. And then we're going to right click, click surface, and we're going to click the surface. And let's say that our hand slips by accident and we click enter. So it might look like we didn't achieve our goal and we didn't slice the object, but we did. You'll see that the the main toolbox body is sliced, and the piece that we wanted deleted is still there. So all we'll have to do is press it, select it, and delete it. The next thing we're going to do is change to shaded. So you can see we're going to delete these two surfaces. Make sure not to grab the rectangle, just the surfaces. So these two surfaces, click delete on your keyboard. Remember that delete is a different button than backspace. We're then going to click these two lines that we use for alignment and delete them. And we're going to do the next command, which is called press pull, P-R-E-S-S-P-U-L-L. And we're going to click enter. Sorry, press pull, click enter. So it is selected, press pull. We know it's been selected because it's in our command line. We're going to click it. It's going to begin to extrude a 3D object. And we want to make sure that we are going to extrude downwards. So make sure to move your mouse cursor downwards, type in 3, click enter, and we've created our handle for our toolbox. We're then going to type in the command union, making sure that we're out of our last tool command, which is we're in press pull. So make sure to get out of that tool command and type in the command union, U-N-I-O-N. Click enter, select the toolbox, select the handle, click enter, and the next thing that we're going to do for our final step is we're going to be using the command press pull. We're going to be using the command fillet edge. My mistake. We're going to change our visual style to wireframe, so it's a little bit easier to grab the edges that we want to fillet. So we're going to type in the command fillet edge, F-I-L-L-E-T-E-D-G-E, fillet edge. And we're going to right click to change the radius. And we're going to type in the radius that we want. We're going to do 0.5 and we're going to click enter. So when you're modeling something, it's important to take into account the size of the object, as that will affect the radius size that you're able to do. And if your object is very small and you pick a number for the radius that's much larger, AutoCAD will either fail and not be able to do the action, or it can cause a lot of glitches and weird things to happen with the model. So be aware of the size of your object and the amount that you're able to input. So we're going to click those 4 edges and then click enter twice. And we're going to change our visual style to shaded. And we have completed our 3D model tutorial for a toolbox. Thank you.